Here with Joel Rathe to preview the 2023-24 Concordia indoor track season, first of all. And as we record this, you've had one meet, so we can kind of talk about that a little bit too. I'm sure it's always nice to get that first national mark on the board. I mean, how good was that feeling?
Well, after last year, I always joke, like even my parents, it came down to my last jump at finals to qualify. I scratched it several times last year indoor for long jump, but my goal last Saturday was to hit the A mark, and I got on my third jump, so I was happy with that. I can get that out of the way. Now we can go for bigger PRs.
Wanted to get a little bit of background too on yourself from Sterling, Nebraska. What is your recruiting story in terms of what you wanted coming out of high school and why it ended up being Concordia?
So going back to high school, I didn't start I guess my main event is long jump. I didn't start long jump until halfway through my junior year. My dad actually set the school record at my high school in Sterling, and I honestly should have been long jumping earlier than when I started. But I got halfway through my junior year, qualified for state, and then unfortunately had a hamstring injury, so I had to jump at state on my opposite left leg instead of my right leg. And I just missed placing at state, which hurt a little bit, but what even was worse, I guess, is my senior year when COVID hit, I didn't even get a senior year at track. But when Coach Ernie was here as a jumps coach before Hinkfoot, Coach Ernie recruited me at a track camp, and I came and visited the school, loved the atmosphere, love the community, the professors, the coaches, and I thought this is the right place to fit. And coming from a class of 10 in my high school, this is a small school, fit exactly what I was looking for college.
And your dad still has that record then at the high school?
He did, and then our neighbor broke it, and then now my best friend from high school is a year younger than me, Sam Bolt. He's a jumper at Doane. He broke it his senior year, which would have been a year after I graduated.
Okay. Well, I wanted to are you still a biology major?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's kind of the track you're hoping for later in life with that?
I would like to work, ideally eastern Nebraska, with conservation, but I'm also interested in using ArcGIS software, which is more geography, environmental science based, because my advisor now is Professor Helmer. It was Dr. Friend, but she moved to Missouri this summer. So Helmer's kind of got me interested in geography and ArcGIS and incorporating all that with like field work with biology and even drone technology. I'm in a class we deal with drone technology, so I'd like to find a career that kind of pursues that out with more field work, biology and conservation related activities.
You said you probably should have been trying long jump sooner than you did. What was your first, I guess, experience with track and field? What do you remember about it?
So I guess my first ever track experience, they used to have meets in Nebraska City for elementary, and I think I competed when I was a 5th or 6th grader. I enjoyed track a lot, but again, I was always younger for my class too. So when I graduated high school, I was still 17. So I always joke at people, I ran at state track my freshman year on a 4x1, and this is Class D, but I was 14 when I was running the 4x1. So a lot of people there I was running against were like, 18, 19 years old. So it was definitely an experience being younger. But taking all those experiences from junior high school, and then being able to apply it now to college, it's really quite the story. People love hearing about coming from such a small school and how much I've progressed in long jump. I've improved my PR almost 4 feet in long jump since high school, which a lot of people never would have thought that if you would have saw me jump in high school, which is pretty cool.
How about your time at Sterling High School? What still sticks with you today?
Our favorite thing we talk about at Sterling High School is obviously we're a small community. Our high school averages, boys and girls, maybe 65 students total. We never had a track, so we never got the ability to practice on nice facilities. We actually had now the community center is built on this, but it was an empty block we called the death block, and that was our track we practiced on. It was just a square block of just asphalt, and it was about 390 meters. We trained on that. We even had to like practice our exchanges for 4x1 relays on asphalt. We only got to practice on the neighboring school's track maybe once or twice a year for state. But we've been blessed. Our girls team, the last 2 or 3 years has placed top 3 in one state 2 years ago with 2 or 3 girls at state track, and we did that without a track facility. So we really take pride in how hard our athletes at Sterling work to show these performances that everyone else to see.
Sure. So you came here and you're like, this is pretty nice then.
Yeah, all our facilities here are amazing compared to the ones we had back at Sterling, especially our indoor track. This is probably my favorite. Even though, yeah, at times I may say I get tired of running on, I really know how nice of a facility is. So.
You mentioned how much you've improved your PR. How do you attribute that, or what do you attribute that success to, and being able to get to nationals repeatedly now?
Yeah, so I think I attribute that from coming from a community where, you know, in Sterling, it's a blue collar community. We weren't given a lot at Sterling. A lot of the schools around us had all the nicer facilities. We had to work with what we had, and I kind of grew up around a rural community I helped work with farmers and stuff, and you know, a lot of it's just hard work, and that's really what's got me there. It hasn't just came overnight. It wasn't just one day I progressed 4 feet in long jump. It's came from lots of trial. You know, you have your good days in track, you have your bad days. You keep working on the little things and just keep working to get better and better. And I felt like with COVID, not being able to have a senior year, I had something I didn't get to show my senior year in state track that I really wanted to show in college. So I've been taking that ability to show what I never got my senior year because of COVID to show that in college. So.
Sure. Is there a part of it that's mental too? I mean, you take some kind of athletic ability, obviously, but some of it maybe is a little bit mental.
Yeah. So I always tell even like freshmen that come on our track team, I always tell them the mental aspect of tracks probably harder than the physical aspect. Because you're going to have a day where you have a huge PR, and then you're going to have multiple months even where you may not break that PR. And that was my freshman year. I had my biggest PR ever in long jump. I think I jumped 7 meters, and then it took me till the end of my sophomore year to beat that. So it was a whole year, I couldn't beat that mark. But mentally, it was tough on me because I was like, what happened? I've never injured myself. My legs are great, But it was just, I kind of fell back to some bad form and technique, and I had to work that out, focus on little things. So the mental aspect of tracks, I think, the toughest. And a lot of people that have never competed in track and field wouldn't know that.
How about just what that experience has been like at the national meets? What do you take away from those competitions and the whole spectacle of it and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly incredible. It's just an atmosphere to compete at a national meet. It's something I never really got to do in high school. I competed at state a few times, but state track meets one thing when you're going against the best athletes in the NAIA at nationals. It's competitive. It's a challenging atmosphere to compete in, but man, is it fun when you have a crowd there to watch and going to show people, all about your school, your community, and your story. I mean, that's really what it's all about when you compete at nationals.
You figured out where the hot spots are in Brookings, South Dakota, and Marion, Indiana now. I mean, what did you enjoy, I guess, about those destinations?
Well, last year Brookings was definitely fun. The 300-meter indoor track at SDSU is something I've never been able to compete on ever before. It's the first time we've ever got to run on one. Obviously, there was a lot of snow up there last year, but thankfully the travel conditions were great. I mean, there was snow, but we didn't have to. It actually never snowed when we were there, so that was good. But Marion, Indiana, and Indiana Wesleyan, they have gorgeous facilities, and the weather was gorgeous the whole week we were there. It was warm and not windy. And obviously I know a lot of people kind of miss it wasn't at Gulf Shores, Alabama, but Indiana Wesleyan, in my opinion, does put on a better meet, and the weather conditions in Indiana Wesleyan are usually more favorable than the ones at Gulf Shores, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It'd just be nice if they had a beach close by.
Yeah.
But yeah. that's not the main focus, though. Anyway, how much do you maybe look at some of the I don't know, the all-time lists and the records at Concordia and think, I want to do what some of them have done, or even do better?
Yeah, I can't lie. I've definitely looked at them. I'd love to go break the long jump school record. Quentin Furr has both the indoor and outdoor, and it's definitely one of the most impressive records up there, over 25 feet in long jump. It'll be a challenge. That's been one of my goals to break. I also like to go for the 100-meter record outdoor. I'm not far off of that. I think Mark Cook broke it last year. Quentin Furr had that too. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see the record list, to see how great a performances this track program's had over the years. And some of those records, I mean, are meant to be broken. That's what records are there for. And you can ask anyone that. I mean, if I ever have a school record, I hope someone breaks it one day, because it means a lot for someone to do that. And it means a lot just to hold it. So records are meant to be broken.
I guess lastly, what in your mind would make this a success when you look at both indoor, outdoor in 2024?
Definitely for me would be, I want to try and get All-American award. I've been close the last 2 years in long jump, but it's going to take me performing at my best the day of the meet, and that's what's fun about track nationals. We always talk about you can come in and your marks coming in don't mean anything until you compete that day. So mentally and physically preparing myself for the day at nationals is going to be my mindset the next few months coming into that. And just work on all the little things I can do, and the big reward at the end would be to get an All-American award is my goal for the year.